I don't know how interesting this is, but I'm into my second week of dealing with the flu. Um, and a lot of times I don't know if I'm going to sleep or when I'll wake up or how much coughing I'll do. This morning so far, so good. It's been really interesting just to contemplate health, and how much I think I know I can take it for granted, and all the different pieces that is the meaning of health, and maybe people who don't have health. This sort of reminds me. So I'm very grateful to be able to be here with all of you and speak and hear and more or less function. Who'd like to go next?
I will.
Okay, Libby.
Libby Traubman here in San Mateo. And we've been keeping quite busy with our dialogue activities. And this coming Tuesday night, we will be having our 300th Jewish Palestinian Living Room Dialogue meeting.
Whoa.
And for a little while, this particular group kind of was fading down because people died, people aged out, people moved, and you kind of wonder, where will it go? And then suddenly we have all these new people, both Jews and Palestinians. And so we know that Tuesday night is going to be kind of a special celebration of the 300th with some new people joining us. So it feels positive, and it's also a statement about what's needed. People feel that disconnected, and we really need to be continuing to build those relationships. So I'm happy about that.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. It's good to hear. Who's next?
Sure. Libby mentioned that we were just at the annual dinner of United Religions Initiative, and there we met a Reverend Dorsey Blake, who is carrying on the work of a Reverend Howard Thurman, who is an African-American Christian, but very spiritual, inclusive man. And they have a congregation that we're going to go to next week. And it just reminded me how important it is to revisit religion and see where it unites and go back to the roots so that we apply it in a contemporary way now that we've seen that photograph of Earth from space.
Thank you, Lynn. Who's next?
So, good morning. I'm Diane Elliott, speaking from El Sobrante, where the sun is trying to shine this morning. I can relate to your health saga, Aryeh. I've had some version of respiratory something about 6 times in September. So that's been, I've been asking myself, why this particular winter and this virus, although I know a lot of people who have gone through this. And I just, what I've been thinking about spiritually and in my teaching in the last weeks is really the theme of liberation. And that's, of course, what's in our Torah cycle right now, and we're moving toward Passover. But I've been thinking really on a very deep molecular level almost, what constitutes freedom and liberation, and how do we cultivate that, and how do we hold that space for others? And yeah, just a lot swirling around about that. Just did a women's retreat last weekend, and we looked at the role of a communal art project in fostering liberation. That is the development of the Mishkan, or the sanctuary. So that's what I've been thinking about.
Thank you, Diane. Great to have you with us. Wendy.
Well, a couple things that have been going on. Well, one is I've gone back to my nursing role, taking care of REA, so kind of getting those roots back, and glad that he's getting better. And we are also starting to prepare for Passover, and realizing that this year we just don't have the energy to do all the ritual cleaning that we all, we have had in the past, and learning what's important, what part of that cleansing, both outer and inner, is really at the essence, since I don't have the time anymore, the energy with this whole bout of the flu, to be able to do the kinds of ritual cleaning that we always have. So that's been kind of interesting. The other thing is I got a hold of a book actually from Daily Good, and that I've been very entranced with. It's a tiny little book. It's called Small Graces. It's an older book. It's been since 1998 by Kent Nearburn. And what he really talks about is the finding joy and finding the spirituality of small things that are actually really large things, but they're, more small things. And, it's given me a lot of peace, because when I retired, I was thinking about all the grand things that I might do, and I haven't been able to do that for a number of reasons. But just to find the blessings in small acts, and even just the way the sun is in the sky during the course of the day, the light, clouds, looking at the sun in nature, and that's given me a lot of joy, and so I highly recommend the book.
Thank you, Wendy. So, Sophie, it looks like it's you.
Yeah. I am actually looking forward to Nippu's visit to our college on Thursday. So Nippu is coming to my college to give a talk and spend a whole day with the community. We have been preparing that since like October, and he's actually coming this Thursday. So this is very exciting and very beautiful to look forward to.